Okay, good morning, Pranam. There were some technical issues with the previous link, so in the last moment I had to change the link. So people who are joining late can understand through the recording of the session. And the people who join here now are most welcome to hear how wonderful our planets are and why we always keep on blaming some or the other planet, whereas the planets are not harming us. See, if I say that some that link just suddenly went off, can I blame the planet about it? No, it was posted and there were some network issues. It's okay. We cannot take things everything for very serious. Okay, that my Mercury was not right or my this graha was not right. The moment was making me aware that something is not working out. So shift your way of working. That's it. So it becomes a moment of awareness. So let us start with the first, the first session, and we are talking about Mercury, Budh Graha. So what is, we are often told that the Graha has some problem with it. The Graha is not, many people say that my Mercury is weak. That is why I have communication problems. That is why my decisions go wrong. And then what do? We look for remedies. But now let me ask you one thing, honestly, if Mercury is affecting your communication, will wearing something outside will help? Will it change your thinking in your way of communicating? So what does Mercury actually represent? Mercury is representing your mind, your communication, and how you think about it. How what is your ability to understand and respond? Now, for example, you are in a conversation and someone says something to you and you suddenly respond, and then later on you realize that I should have not said that. Now, can your stone or can your Mercury do anything about it? All your overthinking habits or everything you doubt your decisions or when you feel most confused about, can anything outside of you tell you anything? And what if I say that if your Mercury is not weak, it is only showing you your awareness. It is showing you how you are thinking about it. So every time, the scripture and every practice tells you to take a pause, to relax, to go in meditation, to understand yourself. Why is this happening? Why am I not able to communicate properly? So the Mercury planet itself starts, when we are not thinking in the right direction or we are not able to communicate, we don't take it as a challenge to overcome the self. Rather, we start looking for short-term things, right? So, hello, whosoever has joined, thank you so much. So listen very carefully. You can look for the recordings also. So let me not break the flow. So what is the perspective about understanding is the Mercury is not weak. It is only showing you that the awareness in your thinking is weak. So let us understand through the scripture. So the scripture says that the focus, even in the teachings, Bhagavad Gita says that focus is not changing something outside of you. The focus is changing inside. So your thoughts shape your words and your words shape your actions. So let me give you a short story. I remember somebody telling me continuously that I'm not able to communicate, and I have a lot of misunderstandings in my relationships. So they tried the remedies, they started observe, but when what happened is nothing changed. When I told them about the scripture told them start observing yourself. So when they started observing, they realized that they cut down the communication. In the middle, you jump up with something and you distract the conversation, and then you are very you come up immediately to some response where you assume things very quickly. You start overthinking about it. So when you start understanding that what you are doing in action and words, that is where Mercury is teaching you, change your own pattern, think from a better perspective, take a pause, understand, listen, and then speak. If we are able to speak, we should have the power to listen also. So that is where it is important. So I'll answer your questions only after the session, please. It is better you focus on the session rather than texting something. Yes, you have a doubt, please carry on. If it is with the topic, I'll reply you right now. So let us understand, reacting to listening is not, everything is not important. When we start understanding our own self, our own thought pattern, that what am I doing wrong? Mostly we are so focused on outside, on the remedies, on changing people, on everything. Krishna says, go within. Go within and understand that you should have the listening capacity also to understand what the other person is saying. We are so opinionated between something, so then that is where we stop communicating and understanding each other. So the Mercury is only, the planets are always rotating. So rotating means this is a pattern. So what is the pattern? The pattern of same thinking. The same thinking process. Somebody says something and I suddenly interrupt. Somebody says something, I suddenly interrupt. And I just keep on, putting on my own things rather than listening to the other person. So if that is what is just now happening. So better to understand what your planet is teaching you rather than running for the remedies. Now what changes? Does the planet change? No, the person changes and your Mercury will start balancing. Because now you are not reacting to the situation, you are not overthinking about the situation. You are listening and then communicating with a calm and a composed mind. So obviously your relationships will definitely go above. So observe your thoughts, take a pause, and before reacting always listen. So now you are shifting from the codependency to the self mastery. This is what the scripture actually says. This is what the scripture is actually saying, that what is self mastery. You understand yourself, and whosoever is that Devi who's asking me the question, I'll just answer you how to reduce your stress. Okay, now first let me complete this, and when you listen to something, half of your understanding comes and your stress starts reducing, because now you are understanding and you're listening. Learn to listen, to have your answers, and then you will understand eventually what planet is. So as this is the first session of the Graha Budh or the Mercury, we'll take all the 9 planets each week, and as you keep on listening, you will yourself find out why and where which planet is causing you stress, which is your own repetitive behavior which is bringing you into this downfall. So the planets are only making us aware of something. Stop doing the remedies and everything, and you will start understanding yourself. So instead of asking what remedy should I do for Mercury, you should ask yourself, how can I become more aware, and in my thinking and in my communication, and in this very moment of self reflection, you will start realizing your own behaviors. We are always looking through a lens of a separation. Separation means whatever I say, I can say, whatever I speak, I can speak. But what I understand is, when I am listening to something, when I am in the middle of a conversation, let me focus for the reason I am here, not for something else. So as you are looking for for your communication, understand the planet is only rotating and doing what you are repeating in your mind. That is only for your understanding. Mercury has nothing to do with harming you. Mercury is only telling you, become aware and understand your own thoughts. So now you can ask me questions, whatever you have. Somebody has put on how we reduce the stress. So that is what I was saying, that as you listen to all the Navagrahas we are coming up, you will start understanding that what is causing you that stress, then, and what is your own behavior which is actually making you feel that stress. So as the whole scripture is about, understanding the self, understanding what we are doing. The whole scripture is not about you change or anybody else change. The scripture is about changing the self realization. So when you come to realize the self, you will realize where we are going wrong and what we can correct. Every time we go for an exam or something, we understand that, oh, this point I missed, now this could be better. So this is how we learn, it's a step by step process of understanding the self, and that is all the scripture is about. So now anybody has any question about the Mercury? I think I made everything clear about how you learn to communicate and how you learn to understand that why am I not able to speak. As we go further with all the Navagrahas, you will understand where you lack communication, where your stress is coming from, so there is no past and there is no future. The only minute is now. If we are only lingering in our memories like a pendulum, going here and there. So stress is the cause of fear and anxiety, which either has already happened or something going to happen. You have no control until you become aware of it. So when you become aware of it, only then you will start realizing what to control, when to control, and the control is all within us. So my message for you for today is, learn about yourself, about your own things, about your own habits and needs, and then you start realizing that there is nobody else to be blamed about, there is nobody else to be said about. That is why the scripture says, remove yourself from the world. It looks like you have become a stoic or something. No, you become joyful the more you understand that where you are going wrong. Because once you are settled in an exam and oh, I made this mistake, you will not repeat it. That's all. So it is not that difficult. It is not at all difficult. But the question is, are you ready to work on yourself? So your planets are always in a healthy mode, telling you where you need to take a U-turn. So have a lovely Sunday. Thank you for joining, and thank you so much for being here. We'll do the next planet next Sunday. See you there. In case you have any questions, and in case you need more clarity, I'll still suggest you listen to all the Navagrahas. After that, if you have questions, you can send me the questions. I'll solve you. As I come every Sunday, we'll take up every question and I'll help you understand yourself. Study the scripture, study Bhagavad Gita. It is very, very interesting. As you become a mystic of your own self, as you become, live in your own self, isn't that more important, that now yourself mastered yourself and you don't need any permission, you don't need any validation from people. That does not make you rude, but it makes you stand in your own power, and that is the beauty of it. Thank you so much. Have a lovely Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. So you are asking me what time? It's the same 11 a.m. every Sunday, and we have this live session. It is Indian Standard Time. So wherever you have joined, please check out the Indian time, and 11 a.m. you are most welcome. You can share the video with so many people if you feel that somebody has communication issues or somebody has some problem. It will be very good for the people to understand that they let us not stop controlling things outside, and let us start understanding the self. You don't need all these so many stones and all that. When you understand everything around you, you yourself become a diamond. Why do you need anything else to wear, right? So enjoy your Sunday. See you next week.